Hi Jasmina. Hi Corrie. Hi Tom. Hi Tina. Welcome. Hi Diane. Welcome everybody. Hi Miriam. Good evening. Hope you're all well. Hi Shirley. Hi Shirley. Hope you're well. Hi Karen. Hi Tom. Loved your last project with the new dies from Tonic, Tom. Looked brilliant. Hi Corrie. Hi Becky. Hi Karen. I can't keep up with your antiques on Facebook. Oh no, it's the wrong Karen. Sorry Karen. I'm getting my names mixed up. Hi Gail. Hi Monique. Hi Jean. Sorry Jen. I need my eyes testing, I think. Hi Piggy Sue. Welcome everybody. I started a bit early because I have to get my phone to do what it's supposed to do, so it takes me a while, so I'm always a few minutes early. Hi Diane. Hi Anne, welcome. Welcome everybody. Hi Virginia. Bonjour. Hi Jen. I am here, yay. Hi Becky. Hope everybody's well. Hi Janet. Hope everybody's well and okay in this heat. Oh, definitely. If you'd like to share, Tom, that would be wonderful. Thank you very much. I'm absolutely boiling. Saluti. Sabrina, welcome. So yes, I hope you're all coping with the heat a little bit better than me. I'm struggling in this heat. It really does affect me. It also affects my motivation, I must admit. So I thought, what better way to get motivated and to get me going again? Hubby's watching the Grand Prix. Snap, Karen. That's what my hubby's been doing all day. Apparently it was a great race. Hi, Pollyanne. So yes, apparently it was a good race. And trying to time the Facebook Lives when I'm not conflicting with anybody else's Facebook Lives is really difficult. Hi, Gail. Welcome. Hi, Kathy. I made a live. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Millie. Hi Miriam. I'm just going to have a sip of water, as you can see here, because it's so hot. So excuse me slurping away. I need my water on hand. Hi Millie, hope you're well Millie. Hi Elizabeth. So the reason for the Facebook Live, and it's an off-the-cuff live, because I've actually got a Facebook Live booked. I can't slip in this heat either, Tom, so I feel like a zombie today, I have to say. So the reason for the Facebook Live was actually to motivate me, maybe as much as try and inspire you, but to actually motivate me to get going, because I feel a little bit lethargic and slow and overly hot. Hi Joe. But I'm getting ready for Wimbledon next week, so I'm looking forward to Wimbledon. It's one of the sports that I do watch. Hi Bernie, welcome. Welcome everybody, thanks for joining me. So I've got a little giveaway for you, because I like to do a giveaway. If you'd like to share, that's up to you. That's lovely if you'd like to share. You don't need to, but I do appreciate it if you do share. So I've got a little giveaway, so let's move this all out the way at the moment. Oh, first of all, these are the products that I've got on my desk. I've actually got my Stamp Set 200. I've got 2 Distress Oxides and a Dina Wakley Media Paints and an archival ink. And you will see why I've got those on my desk when I show you what I'm doing for AALL&Create Live tomorrow. Then you'll see why I've got those on my desk. So I've got a little giveaway for you. So the giveaway, if I can just get it all together. I never get it all together quite right. So I've got some foil sheets for you. They're all brand new. So some foil sheets, I think they're 12 inches in length. I can never remember the width. So I've got some foil sheets. Hi Carmen, welcome. Hi Jackie, hi Ali, welcome everybody, thanks for joining me. That's nice glare on the camera, don't you think? So I've got some foil sheets for you. I've got this Etc. thick board tombstone. I thought that some of you might be thinking about your Halloween makes, so that's part of the giveaway as well. I'll just bring that a bit lower. There's a bit of glare on the packaging, but I thought that would be part of the giveaway. And I've got some skulls that you can use. Hi Karen, welcome. I was saying Karen before, I got the wrong Karen. I can't keep up with all your antiques. You're so busy. You're all over the place. So there's some skulls there. and I've got one of the Tim Holtz frames, which I thought you could use with the next item I've got. I've got a couple of vintage, the proper vintage cards that I thought you could perhaps scan in. Hi Olga, welcome. I thought you could scan those cards in and perhaps use them with the frame maybe. So that's part of the giveaway. And I've got a, yes, what's this called? Hi Debbie, hi Sue. What's this called? Oh, a magnifying glass. Oh dear, it's going to be a good Facebook Live when I can't even remember what I'm giving away. Oh, magnifying glass, because I thought you could use that in your mixed media piece, because I've got a few of these. Spyglass, magnifying glass. Olga, I just couldn't think what it was called then. Hi Sam, hi Rizwana, welcome everybody. So that's the little giveaway. If you'd like to share, that's entirely up to you, but that's not a necessity. Everybody's in the draw. Magnifying glass. I couldn't think, Tom. I'm telling you, my brain's mush with this heat. It doesn't take much to convert my brain to mush anyway. It's not the best of brains. But there's the giveaway. So if you'd like to share, that'd be lovely, but it's not a necessity. So this is what I've got on, and I've got some little random bits, like bits of brick wall, but nothing that means anything at all. Hello, welcome from Belgium. Akina, welcome. So I've got little odds and ends here, but what I thought I'd do is, I thought, because I always start with backgrounds and that's what always gets me going, I thought I'd start with a couple of backgrounds. Oh, thanks very much, Tom. So I thought I'd start with a couple of backgrounds. No idea where I'm going. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's all part of the fun of having a Facebook Live, really, and sharing with like-minded creatives. So we'll get started. The only thing I did do was cut a piece of white card. That's as energetic as I got. So I have no idea what I'm doing at all. I know that I'm using my stamp set, my A5 stamp set 200, which is, whoops, this one. Hopefully you can see all the images better on off the packaging anyway. Hi Beverly, welcome. Hi Sadia. Hi Ginny, hope you enjoyed the Pink concert, Ginny. Sounds like everybody's had a fabulous time at the concert, or the gig, or whatever you call it. I don't have much of a life. I don't even know whether it's called a concert, a gig, or what it's called. Oh, thanks very much, Millie. So I'm going to create something with my stamp set 200 because I'm using this on my Facebook Live for AALL&Create tomorrow. So I thought, well, this is on my desk. This is what I need to be inspired by. Oh, I forgot another thing on my giveaway. This is also part of the giveaway as well. Can't you tell this is off the cuff? This is like a little, you use the paintbrush and then there's a little body that you add to the paintbrush. That's part of the giveaway as well. Sorry. I did tell you it was off the cuff, and I did tell you that my brain was mush and it wasn't working very well. So you'll have to forgive me. It's not working too well. So I've got a scoreboard. So the only way I can think to start is, there's not much room on this desk at all, which you all know by now. So have you all been enjoying the garden? Been having barbecues? Hi Sonia, welcome from Suffolk. Been having barbecues? Oh, have any of you been to the NEC? If you've been to the NEC, give me some feedback. I don't do the summer NEC. I'm there in November with James, but I'm not there. I wasn't there this weekend, but I'd love to hear your stories. Hi, Liz. So I've got a piece of white card. This is 5 inches by 7 inches. The paintbrush idea, I know it's quite a nice idea, Karen. I thought that it'd be quite nice for a mixed media piece. So tomorrow on the AALL&Create Facebook Live, I'm going to try and decorate a couple of maybe a journal cover, do something a bit different. Pink was absolutely amazing and well worth the price of the ticket. Everybody said it was fantastic, Jenny. I'm glad you had a good time. Hi, Anique. So I'm going to score its inch intervals on my card. So at 1 inches, at 2 inches, I'm hoping you can see this. My desk's not the largest of desks. 3 inches and 4 inches. And I'm actually shaking as I do the Facebook Live. So we'll then turn it over and I'll do the opposite side just to reinstate those those score marks. there we go. We can now get rid of that. No, I need that actually. And hi Leslie, welcome. I don't know if watching you just before shopping day is wise. Last time I finished with a new gel plate. Oh, I wonder what we can tempt you with now, Olga. Let's see if I can get you spending. So I'm now going to reinforce those score lines. And my card's actually quite dirty. I don't know where that's come from. But hey, that's all part of a random Facebook Live dirty card. It could be my sweaty hands, which is not a nice thought. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to share that with you. But I've now reiterated those score lines. That'll help with the effect later. That's my excuse, a few dirty marks. So welcome everybody, thanks for joining me. If you'd like to share, that would be appreciated. I do have a little giveaway, which I'll show you again at the end. So the reason I've got these products on my desk is because tomorrow on the AALL&Create Facebook page, we're going to be creating this together tomorrow. So I didn't plan on doing a Facebook Live today. My Facebook Live was tomorrow for AALL&Create, but this is what we're going to create tomorrow. So we'll actually do a little journal cover. So that's what we're going to create tomorrow, on that, and that'll be on AALL&Create's Facebook page. So what I'm going to do now, I think I'll use the lighter colour. Just turn my card to one side. Thanks, Olga. So I'm now going to, I think I'll swipe this down. Let's hope this works. I'll keep swiping it down. I've no idea whether we'll make a mess or what will happen. But I try and do something different. But as you all know, there's not many new techniques. They're all reinvented. It's just to, you know, share some creativity with you. Just spend some time together being creative. So I'm just going to keep adding this colour. I quite like that. And can you see where I kept reinstating the score lines? That's to hopefully give me more of an aged look. So we'll keep going down with this colour because this colour's nice and light. So it sort of gives quite a nice shabby look. So I'll keep going down with that. I just have to turn it to get my end one. And these ink pads are quite moist because I'm using the oxides, but I quite like that. I quite like the fact that you get some of these patches as well. It does look like a picket fence, doesn't it, Jo? I quite like that. And let's hope it works. It looks like wood. Yes, it does, Miriam. So I'll just add a darker colour because I've got this hickory smoke. So let's try it anyway. So we'll go very lightly with this because this is an even darker colour. So I'm using a really light touch, not a strong touch. And that's really picking up the lines, which is quite effective. But I don't want to add too much dark colour because I want it to look a bit shabby. Once I get going, I'm all right. It's just getting going. You're not late, Jo. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Not late at all. We've only just started and I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, so you're okay. So I think I'm going to go back with the pumice stone. And I think we'll create a couple of backgrounds, a couple of random backgrounds, and then we'll decide which one we're stamping on. Just to give you a couple of ideas. So I'm just keeping adding, as you can see, with the felt pad, it makes it nice and easy to keep adding that colour. And the light colour really does work well. You're not late, Janet. It doesn't matter. There's always catch up. And we all have lives as well. We've got our families. And it is nice weather out there for those that love the sun, unlike me, that doesn't love the sun. I'm a redhead, so I like the autumn and the spring. Right, I'm quite happy with that. So hopefully you can see that. I think we'll give that a little dry because the inks are quite moist. So we'll give that a little dry. Because we're using the Distress Oxide, so that's got an opaque quality and a pigment element. So obviously the inks stay wet longer. I'm trying to use some different colours so that I don't get predictable. Or that's the plan anyway. But if I keep doing Facebook Lives, you're going to know every one that I do. I'll have to keep reinventing. So we'll just make sure that that's nice and dry. Welcome, Andrew. Annalise, welcome. Just make sure that's nice and dry. Thanks, Karen. So, yes, there's no ink coming off that. Now, just to give it a bit more of a shabby look, I've got some white paint. You love the sun, do you, Kathy? But the heat does me in. It's the humidity. Oh, pumice stone is my favourite colour. Yes, I love pumice stone as well. I must admit, Diane, it's a lovely colour. Be right back. No problem, Tom. You can easily watch on catch up. So I'm just going to add a touch of white, but I'm not going to add much. I'm going to see if I can add a light touch. So as you can see, there's not much white on there, but I'm just going to go over. You might not see it on camera yet, but I will lift it up. I'm hoping that this will just shabby it up a bit. Does that make sense? That it will shabby the background up. So I'm just going to shabby that up with some touches of white. And as you know, I always say it's about adding layers. So add light layers, not thick, dark layers. Add light layers to your background. That way we don't ruin what we've already done, because we can't take it away, but we can always add it. So I'm just rolling my brayer very lightly. And if you keep rolling your brayer, even when you've got a small amount of paint on, that actually adds texture to your design. Obviously, you won't see that texture on a Facebook Live, but if you ever see any of the cards live, you'll see that they're quite textural. So just adding that white. So that's quite a nice one background. So that's our first background before we add any stamping. Hi Tracy, can't continue watching as needed elsewhere. We'll catch up later and see you Saturday. Yes, see you Saturday, Sandy. Thanks very much. I'll probably do this on Saturday anyway, Sandy. Thanks, Kathy. No, you've not missed much at all, Diane. Don't worry. It does, yeah, it does look a bit like peeled paint. I quite like that. And because I've scored the lines quite deeply, that nice, you know, sort of gives it an age feel. And there are some lovely touches of white on there. The white actually gives it a nice shabby effect. So shall we create another quick background before we actually do any stamping? So what we're going to do is we'll just wipe that up. Where's my kitchen roll? My floor is actually such a mess. My floor is a total tip. So what I'm going to do now is I've got another piece of white card. I've got my, because of my project tomorrow, I've got my little 5x7 gel press on my desk, because we'll be using that tomorrow. Whoops. I'll be using that tomorrow, like an old plank of wood. Oh, brilliant, Belinda. That's brilliant. I'm glad it looks like that. So we'll just create another background, but this time I want something delicate. So I'm hoping this works. So I'm going to add, because as you saw from my project that I showed you that I'm sharing tomorrow, I'm using blushing Dina Wakley acrylic paint, and I'm going to, and my gel plate press is very sticky. It must be the heat. I wonder if it's the heat. And I've got elephant, a weather beach hut. Oh, it'd be nice die cutting like a house out of it. That would be a good idea, actually, Jenny. If I cut a house out of something like that, I could do another background and create a house. Good idea. You see, I knew if I came on a Facebook Live, I'd get motivated. So I'm just adding touches of the elephant. And I'm just going to add layers to my gel press as well. And I'm hoping it dries. So I'm just creating two backgrounds, and then we'll do some stamping, or that's the idea. So I'm seeing if I can add layers to my gel press, but very light layers that I can then let dry. I'm hoping this heat lets them dry, allows them to dry quickly, I'm hoping. Let's get rid of the excess onto another piece of card. Let's just move this to the side, and we can just let that dry. Aloha, Heather. I do not have any of those colours, and I feel I need them badly. Actually, Olga, I hate to say it, but wouldn't these colours look nice with your roses? Don't you think? Sorry, Olga. Hi, Isabel. I even like my braided off background. Even that. So that could be our third background, couldn't it? That could be our third background. So even that, I like that on its own. So we could do something to that, couldn't we? Yes, we could. That could be a third background. So I'm hoping this dries. This is still a bit wet. So we'll talk to each other. I've got a nice hair on my gel plate. There's always a hair on my gel plate. You never have enough, Heather. Olga's going to kill me. Thinking the same, Olga. She's got So yes, so we'll let that dry for a minute. And we'll just colour a random... I'm going off on tangents now, can you see? So we've created this background at the moment. Mental. Tomorrow's shopping day. Yes, you need these for your roses, Olga, definitely. Texture. Yes, I quite like that. That's just my rub off background. So I'm letting my gel press just dry. And I want some of this blushing colour for my flower, for my wood background. So I'm just going to brayer some of this colour onto my background just for my flower while we wait for that gel press to dry, because I want my next background from the gel press to be quite subtle. I don't want it to be too overpowering. Saying hi from Canada on a hot sunny day. Just got back from the art supply store and I'm now joining. Hi Cease, how are you? Hi Anne. Hi Marianne. Welcome. Hi Debs. So we've now got that for my stamping for my flower. We've got that I braided off. So that's just what we'll use. That was the first background that we created, which I'm going to do some stamping on. I'm now waiting for this to dry. It should be dry by now, really. And let's see if we can add some white and what happens. So let's add some white to my gel press. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Hey ho, it doesn't matter. But I want a really subtle backdrop. I don't want an overpowering backdrop, because I want to do a clean and simple card as well, maybe. So let's just... Hi from Holland, welcome. Hi Corrie. Hi Volkia. Welcome everybody, thanks for joining me. And then we'll just lift that up. And I've actually got a print from a stencil I used on there, but I love that background mainly because I like this aged area here. If you see these patchy areas which give a nice age feel, that's perfect for me. Just what I wanted. So gel press doesn't have to be complicated. For me, that is just... Have you used any of Sunday's backgrounds yet, Lisa? Hang on, Lisa. Here they are, Lisa. Still here. My background from Sunday. Still here, Lisa. Still not done anything. This heat killed me. And then Abs asked if I'd do a Facebook Live, so then I prepped for that. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. So there you go. So that's a nice background. I quite like that. I can still see some kind of spotlight and a nice dark stamping. So I quite like that background. But we seem to have a lot of paint on here. Shall we have another go and just see what happens? Let's put some more white on here. Now, obviously, you're not going to get much colour here because there's nothing there. But we might get an aged area here. So let's just go over again with white. And let's put that, let's rub some of this white off because you don't want too much white paint. So let's just rub some of that off. And this time, another piece of white card. Go. Yes, I like the painted paper. So let's just pull this is quite dry, so we might not get a really good print, but I'm still going to use it, believe it or not. So that one is very light compared to that one. Can you see? Because there's hardly anything there. But for me personally, I will use it because I'll do something with that. You see, I could even, with this one that's very pale, we could then add, use the stencil, then add some of this blushing paint over the stencil. I think I'm going very sparingly with the paint. I love the ghost one as well, Olga. The ghost one's lovely. I'm quite pleased with that one. So we could add to the very light one. I'm not going to change this one because I absolutely love that one. I don't want to change that one. But this one, I'm going to add a touch of stenciling. Let's just add a touch. You see, you can always change a page and brighten it up. And I don't want to add more than that. And obviously, we've still got this here, but I'm going to let that dry and use that for another print, or else we'll be here all night doing prints. But what we've got, let's see what we've got. We've got these backgrounds, and none of them were complicated. Not a problem, Isabel. You can catch tomorrow. Big kisses. Thank you. Thanks for watching. So now we've got 4 backgrounds, and nothing's complicated. It's all hit and miss, but I particularly like this one, and I love this one. This one I particularly like because it's got these white patches. I quite like that aged feel, and I will do something with all these backgrounds. I never bin them. I always keep them, so I shall keep those. So now we've got, where's my stamp set? There's so much going on here, it's ridiculous. There's so many things here. Finding a stamp set is impossible. That's why it's called a random live, isn't it? Because you can't find anything. So we're using this stamp from stamp set 200, which is somewhere on the floor. So we're using this stamp. This was actually by accident, Karen. I actually thought, well, I'm doing another Facebook Live for AALL&Create. And I thought, well, I'll use the products that I'm using for my live tomorrow and see what I can do with them. And I wanted to try and use something that are not normally my colour choices. Normally, you know, it's sort of welcome to working in my Bermuda Triangle. Honestly, I'm like, I seriously haven't got the biggest of spaces. So what amazes me is how you can actually lose a stamp set when it's A5. There it goes. That's the one. This is the stamp set we're using, A5. Stamp set 200, but I have no idea where my packaging's gone. Oh, there it is. So this is the stamp set we're using. You see, I'd be dangerous. I'd be dangerous. When you plan things, it runs very smoothly. But when you just do it off the cuff, you just have to go with it. So I think we're going for these two. I really like these. I'm really pleased with these. So we're going to create 2 cards in conjunction with each other. So first of all, I don't want to stamp in black, so I'm going to stamp with the archival I've got on my desk, which is watering can, because I use that in my prep for my live tomorrow with AALL&Create. So we're now going to stamp onto the background we've created, you know, the random one we braided with the colour. So there's always ways, even if you make a botch of a background, it doesn't matter. You can always stamp onto it. It'll never look the same again. Oh, thanks very much, Becky. I loved your artwork today, Becky. You've been sharing some fab pieces in Mini Marvels. I've loved them. It's an A5 stamp set, Rizwana. A5. It's A5. Stamp set 200. And it's A5, and it's got a nice few sentiments on there, but I'm bound to say that since it's my stamp. Of course, I think it's got nice sentiments. Begin with small steps. Imagine, love, believe in yourself. Do new things every day, make a difference, and be the change that makes a difference. And we've got different flowers on there. And it's called Hope. Do you know why it's called Hope? Because Abs, every time he asks me to name my stamps, he tells me I can't use flower, I can't use botanical, I can't use bloom, I can't use, and it gets harder and harder. It absolutely gets a nightmare to name the stamps. So eventually I'm going to be using 2 words when I run out of names for my stamp sets. I love stamping with the watering can. It's not too harsh, is it? Especially when you're using these colours, I think. It's quite nice. So what I'm thinking is we're going to stamp our flower on here. We want to make it a bit different than my live's going to be tomorrow, so that's why I've done a totally different. And I want these to be relative clean and simple, not too over the top. So I'm going to stamp that there. And I tend to turn my card to make it easier rather than, you know, moving my hands all over the place. So there's our flower. And then we're going to cut out our flowers, because as you know, there's no prep done. Because when it's all planned, there is some prep. I'm so hot, so hot. I feel like I'm having a hot flush. Phew. What time is your live tomorrow? I think it's going to be around about 6:30, Sue, because I'm trying not to clash with a couple of other people's Facebook lives, or else nobody might watch me. So, yes, so I think I'm going to aim for 6:30 tomorrow. So, and I will put a picture and a note up on Facebook to let you know, just as a little reminder. So, but I did one today because I was feeling a bit unmotivated with the heat. So I thought if I do a Facebook Live, it'll motivate me to get myself in gear, ready for some more deadlines. So that's why I created these. Personal summer, it's more than that. Do you know, I've had a fan on all day, Rizwana, and it's making no difference. The problem I have with being a redhead is it makes me feel a bit nauseous when I get too hot, and it's a horrible feeling. So sometimes it puts me off even being creative. And I love my garden. I have to go out there because I water my pots and I love being out there. Look at, a lot of you ask me where I get my inspiration from. Oh, I'm melting. 96 here in Florida. Forget it, Marianne. No. A lot of you ask where I get my inspiration. Look at this flower that I found in my garden. Sorry, I'm going off at a tangent. Look at that flower from the garden. I think that'll make a brilliant stamp. And that's where I get my inspiration. I absolutely love the garden. It's an abutulon. But look at that. Look at the veining. Isn't it gorgeous? I just absolutely love it. Sorry, I tend to go off on a tangent. Don't you have a ventilator in your craft room? Ha! That's a bit posh, isn't it? No, I don't have one of them. It's called a little room that's boiling. But don't you think that flower's lovely? And I found that in my garden. So, sorry, I'm going off at a tangent like I always do. So, what I'm going to do is, so that everything blends properly and goes together, I'm going to add a touch of the grey to my flowers. Just a little touch. Just so it looks like it all coordinates. It's a very light touch. And I'll just add a piece of card I've got at the background. Okay. And then we'll bend this flower. Like so. Just to give it some movement. And I think we'll add some background stamping. So we'll use stamp set 210. Which is on my desk permanently because I use it all the time. So I'm going to use that. And I think we'll add a touch of stamping to the flowers as well. How hot is it? Hot, because it's 79 here right now. And that is down 8 degrees. I haven't got a clue what the temperature is, sis. All I know is that my body feels like it's 102. Doesn't matter, Julie. No problem at all. So I'm just going to add some random stamping. So let me just get the stamp the right way up, which often helps. So it's that way. Just going to add a touch of stamping to the flower. So, and I only want a light touch of stamping. So as you can see, we've got a little touch of stamping on the flowers, just to give it a touch more interest. It has been a bit cooler than yesterday. It was 30. Oh, Anne, it doesn't feel any cooler to me at all. So I'm now thinking we'll add that one. I don't know why I put some stamping on the base layer. So we'll add that. And that, I just need to put my head in the head shot because I need to reach my glue. Hi Tracy, we need this set at my workshop today. We used this set at my workshop today and I did... Oh, it's finished. Oh, you used this set in your workshop, Janet. Brilliant. Did you have a good class, a good workshop? So I'm now going to add this here. Add another layer on the top. And my poor little stamp glue is moving. So just add a second layer, like so. Just give it some movement, like there. And now I need to add a touch of we need to ground the flower. So we're going to ground the flower. I need to reach for a credit card. Just an old credit card, just so I can ground my flower. It's been blowing a hula here and raining on and off since last night. My craft room conservatory is 80 with the doors and windows open. Oh, no. I know I shouldn't complain because I know if Chris was here now, she loves the heat. She absolutely adores it. So I'm just going to add just some touches. I don't want to overface that background because I love the background. And then I think we'll add a touch of, which one's this? So we've got stamp set 205, which has got a nice postage stamp here. Sorry, I pressed the button too soon. It was a lovely workshop. I did the same thing with 210 too. Great minds, Janet, that's what I say. So I'm going to use this postage stamp here. I'm going to stamp that. Really, I shouldn't have put my flowers on, but this is what happens when you're creating off the cuff. You do things in the wrong order. So what I need to do is I need to get a scrap of paper, just wipe off because there's a sentiment here and we don't want the sentiment. So just mask off that area. Like so. And then I think I'm going to add that postage mark here. Makes it real like the rest of us. Oh, definitely. I'm definitely real, Belinda. Trust me. I couldn't be anything else. And to be honest, I think it's good to keep it real because that's what we are. We're all crafters. We're all doing it together. So I quite like that postal mark now. I'm quite pleased with that. So let me just see. I've got a bit of background here that I did from my prep yesterday. Let's see if I can create a pot. Let me just... Sorry, I'm not showing you the background. This was again another brayer off from yesterday. So, just going to create a pot. Like so. Oh, thank you, Millie. That's so kind. It doesn't always go to plan, trust me. So I'm now going to add a touch of that. I don't want to overpower this background because at the end of the day, I think the background is lovely and I don't want to detract from it too much, but I want that flower to stand out as well. So I'm going to add a touch of, let's see if this touch of stamping will show up. If not, I'll use the grey. Yes, it does. And we'll use a touch of the grey as well. Just remember that if you use the paints on your stamps, that you need to wipe them clean. So I will show you I'll hold the pot up. Just a little touch, but these are the little touches that I like. What cardstock do you use, Tracy? I use Paper Artsy 340 GSM cardstock because it'll take a good hammering. Have to go. I will watch on catch up. You are doing a fab job as usual. Thanks ever so much, Beverly. Much appreciated. Just finished mounting my toppers. Love this stamp set. Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Veronica. I'm glad you had a good workshop with Janet. So, yes, I use that cardstock, Tom, because it can take a bit of hammering. It can take the moisture that I use. It can take the paints, because when I'm adding my layers of paints, I add lots of layers. I don't just add 1 or 2. Even when I'm doing paint layers, I add 5 or 6 layers. So I tend to use that. So I'm now going to add that. So we could add that, or actually, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm talking to myself. I have to talk to myself. So I'm now going to add that pot. My paint layers are still a bit wet, but that's fine. I'll save that nail for the other one. And while we're here, we'll do 2 at the same time. So we'll do 2 cards at the same time. So let's do this one. Create this one. So we use the same stamp set. Shall I? Yes, we will use the same stamp set just to keep it so they go together. Just try and do 2 backgrounds at the same time. So that's our stamp. Then we're just going to stamp this on here. So on this one we will use here. We'll then cut our flower out and we'll add some book pages to this one. I think there's a couple of cardstocks around, Tom. There are 340 GSM. But that's what I tend to use, 300 or 340 GSM. Either of those are good quality. I know some take distress inks differently than others. So I do get a nice blend from that cardstock as well. So I'm going to bend that. I'm afraid I'm going to have to do 2 flowers because I like the 2. Because that just gives it a bit more dimension. So we've not used much card, which is great. We don't have to use much card. We're using the backgrounds we've all created, which hasn't been taking us too long. It hasn't. It's taken us half an hour. So that isn't long at all. So we now just cut around the flower. So did any of you go to the NEC show today? Did any of you go? Just wondering what it was like, whether there was many demonstrators, you know, there, or stalls. So I'm now going to add that touch of stamping to that one. So use my background stamp again. So we only need to add it to the top one. There we go. So we'll now add, where's my glue? Oops, a little bit late. Hi Astrid, welcome. We've created a few backgrounds, Astrid, and adding a couple of stamped images. You can easily watch on catch up. So I add that there. And just add, we've got a little giveaway as well. I will be doing a giveaway. Just hold my glue in place just so it grabs. And then we'll get some book pages. And I've got a little plant book here. So I'm going to, no Didn't Make It, going to try and go later in the year. I'm demoing in November. I'm going there in November. So what have we got here? Very blue. I'm trying to find a word. There we go. This is just a gardening book that I've got. An old vintage gardening book. And then on the bottom it says flowering stems. Seems perfect to ground my flower. So I ground my flower. Like so. And today we're going for clean and simple cards, not too much, not too over the top. But I am going to add a couple more elements. I was going to add that. Yeah, I am. I'm going to add my rusty nail. Who doesn't like a rusty nail? Me. I love rusty nails. When NEC Friday, less stalls than last time. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Oh, brilliant, Mandy. I'm glad you made it. The NEC is a show, Kathy, in the UK. So it's a show. So I'm going to use that nail. So yes, so it's a craft show that we go to. And I just like to, it's just nice when the local businesses and all the stockists make the effort to do the shows. It's just nice to know that they've had a good turnout, really. Lower part of the plant, yes, we'll have that. As you can see, I'm making 2 cards in conjunction with each other. So I'm now going to, there we go. I'm using a gardening book. I will lift it up in a second just so that you can see the wording. Just so you can see the wording that I'm using. Can you see that they've got word? One says lower part of the plant and one says flowering stem. I like using gardening books like that. And I like using the nail. So I think what we'll do is with that nail, I've got a bit of thread here. So let's use it. It comes in handy when you've prepped for a Facebook Live for tomorrow. What I hope is the more I do, the better I get. That's the plan, she says. So we're now going to add a stitch and hope that my card doesn't fall to bits because nothing's glued down properly. So we're going to add a stitch here. My nail isn't quite adhered yet, but we haven't got time for things to dry, have we? We haven't got that patience. So, sorry, I'm hoping I'm keeping this in camera. I'm terrible for moving it out of camera. So, add that to there. That's perfect. And we'll just tie that off at the back. Just bear with me. Just tie that off at the back. And I'll just cut my thread. That gives a nice stitch detail. A few more. You don't need to, oh bless you, Anne. Practice makes perfect. I definitely need a bit more practice. Seed. I don't know what some of these words mean. Seed and transverse section of same. I don't think I need all that wording. It's a bit technical. But as long as it's got some plant wording, that's the main thing. And really this Facebook Live is to show you that if you're feeling a bit demotivated like I was, you can just have a little play with a few backgrounds. Love when I can see them. Inspiration. Oh, thank you very much, Kathy. I really appreciate that. Truly, I really do. So I'm now going to, I think I'm going to add a little stitch to that. I've lost, this is, don't put things down, Tracy. How dangerous am I? I've just put that thread down and I've lost it within 3 seconds. Right, we're going to add a stitch to the other one. There is no hope, is there really? So this time, let's add a stitch to our pot, the edge of our pot. Oh, I did, yes. And I talk to myself a lot as well. I pretend you're not there and talk to myself. Thanks, Marianne. So we're aiming for a less cluttered look this time because we have to try and appeal to all tastes. Some people don't like too fussy, don't like it too layered, don't like it too cluttered. So I have to think about everybody. And I can't get my thingy through my card. There we go. My hands are slipping. This is just to add another layer of texture to the design, just to give it a touch more interest, and I don't want any more than 1 stitch because I like the randomness of the 1 stitch. So we'll just tie that off, and this is to give it a bit more texture. So that adds more texture to our design. And I'm going to have to add one more piece of book page. I'm sorry, because I can't leave it. It either has to be 1s or 3s. So, stems. That's perfect. Petals and stems. So we're now going to add that. Just to have 3. Just because it gives a bit more balance to the design if I add it in 3s. And all the words are okay because it's stems. Phew. So 3. So we need a sentiment as well. Let's have a sentiment. What shall we have? Begin with small steps. I think that's me when I do a Facebook Live. Begin with small steps. Yes, that's me. Let's do that. Begin with small steps. So I haven't even got a block out to do my stamping. Begin with small steps. So I'll have to get an acrylic block. I'll have to cheat and get an acrylic block. I could stamp it without an acrylic block, but it might not turn out too well with it being a sentiment. I'm all over the place. Love clean and simple. Love tons going on. I never know what's going. Kathy, I'm the same. I love layering and layering and layering. But I always think that if you're going to, if you're encouraging people to buy your stamp designs, which, you know, I'm designing stamps, obviously, and I'm thrilled when people buy my stamps, but I think it's important for me as a designer to at least offer some inspiration, and not necessarily always in my style. I think sometimes it's nice to offer some alternative styles. Oh, I love the background stamp, Laura, thank you. So I think it's nice to offer some different styles, to offer clean and simple, also to offer some basic techniques, because I do it. I forget that there are new starters to craft, and we want to encourage them to embrace this hobby. We're losing a lot of craft shops, and it's lovely to get newcomers to embrace this hobby. And sometimes creating off the cuff, I sometimes get better results on a Facebook Live doing one off the cuff than I do one that's fully prepared. So really, it's to encourage newcomers as well. Oh, thanks very much, Sue. I don't take it for granted, honestly, and I do make lots of mistakes, but I don't take it for granted. I do appreciate your support. So we've now got this background that we used. Begin with small steps. So we'll cut that out. And I think that's what we should all do. Begin with small steps. And we need to encourage those newcomers as well. And also, you know, I like to encourage people to use the stockists, because at the end of the day, we need our stockists. We need our stockists. We need their support. So, you know, I'm hoping the Facebook Lives also encourage people to use the stockists that also support AALL&Create 100%. Without their support, without them, there would be no AALL&Create. And to be honest, there'd be no Tracy Evans designing, because I wouldn't be designing if it wasn't for them. So I've now got begin with small steps. So I need to add a bit of definition to that. Do you know, I can't find a thing here. I can't plan anything. I just go with the flow. Some good, some bad. Exactly, Becky. And you have a lot of good, I have to say. I promise I won't tell my husband that you are the one who emailed him. I have a couple of husbands who blame me for everything. Always blame me for everything. A couple of husbands messaged me, believe me or not, after my last Facebook Live, said I was banned in their household. I think it's fab. So, and if you want to see the lovely Olga, Olga's doing a workshop at Sue Tucker's place, at Art Workshops. She's doing 4 fabulous workshops. Oh, and can I remember the dates? I'm actually going. July the 20, oh, Sue will correct me, but it's towards the end of July, and she's got some fabulous things for you to create. And she's really good fun as well, Olga is. You'll have a fab time at the workshops. She's really quirky. So I'm now going to add this sentiment over my nail, like so. So that's begin with small steps. And then we need another sentiment. I won't keep you much longer now. We're on 8:49. I won't keep you much longer. Begin with small steps. What's the next one? Be the change that makes the difference, or make a difference. No, I think we should have believe in yourself. That's what we'll have, believe in yourself. So we'll add that. Do you all talk to yourself when you're creating? I talk to myself all the time. Every single time. So believe in yourself. 27th and 28th. Thank you, Sue. I'm actually going. How can you not remember, Tracy? The glue that I'm using is the tonic one. I actually love this glue. And then if I'm using dimensional glue, I use Dina Wakley's heavy body. What's that one? The heavy body one. I use hers. But I'm a great believer in if it works, I stick to it. So I use if I'm using thick dimensional things, then I use ultra thick gel medium. Right. Do you know, I keep losing everything I'm using. I put it down, talk to you, and then lose it. I think we should encourage new starters. We need new starters in this craft industry. We need them. We definitely do. Believe in yourself. And we should encourage people that there are no mistakes in art. As long as you enjoy the process, it doesn't matter. And I've enjoyed the process tonight. I was feeling really demotivated. And you've all joined me and motivated me. I always talk to myself and swear. Yes, I do that as well, Kathy. When I'm gardening, when I'm creating, everything. So we'll just cut that down. Like so. I normally use a trimmer to trim my sentiments so they're perfectly straight. We'll just edge those just to give some definition. Like so. Doesn't the time go quick when you're creating? So I'll add those here. The time goes really quick. I always think an hour will be ages, but my cats talk more than I do. My cat talks. Isn't that why we keep cats? To pretend we do not talk to ourselves, just another being. No, Olga, I talk to myself, truly, honestly. So I'm now going to put that there. I haven't even got the excuse that my dogs are in the room with me, because they don't sit in the craft room with me. They sit down with Ian. So because the dogs wouldn't leave me alone, they'd want to be on my knee. So we're now going to add some splatters, because I like adding splatters. Let's add some splatters. Let's see if we can get the pen working. These splatters are going everywhere. I just thought I'd let you know. They're going up the wall. They're going everywhere. But that doesn't matter. So, them are our little... So we've created several backgrounds. I've now put white on my black card. And then if we add that to a black mount, you can see what that's going to look like. And this will be added to a black mount. And I'm going to keep them nice and simple. Posca pen, brilliant Posca pen. So I can use it on everything. Love Posca pen. So I'm going to leave those simple, because tonight is about newcomers. It's about trying to encourage you to have a go, to make backgrounds and not worry about anything other than enjoying the process, just like I've done tonight. I'll just show the giveaway again, just so that you know. So we've got, for those latecomers, mine go everywhere, but my art, mine's everywhere. I've got mine up the wall and everywhere. I'm normally a bit more reserved than that. Were you splattering with a marker? I was splattering with a Posca paint pen, sis. Oh, thanks, Anne. So I was using a Posca paint pen. And just for those late arrivals, I've got a little giveaway. So we've got a skinny paint brush doll, which is a paintbrush, and it's a little doll. And you add the doll to the paintbrush. And then we've got a magnifying glass that I couldn't remember the name of at the beginning. I've got a little frame, which you can add to the vintage cards. You could perhaps scan them in, and because these are over 100 years old, so you could scan them in and use them in your art. and use that. So there's that. I've also got some skulls for you. I've got, let's put them on the floor. I've got the etc. tombstone overlay, which is the etc. tag, and then you've got the tombstone overlays, because I thought you might all be doing your Halloween makes. So we've got that. And we've got some foil sheets for you. So if you'd like to share, that'd be brilliant. So the reason for this Facebook Live is because we're going to be creating this tomorrow on the Facebook Live for AALL&Create. This is the piece we're going to be creating. We're actually going to create a little journal cover. So we'll do that on the Facebook Live tomorrow. And tonight I had those products on my desk. I need a magnifying glass. I need some glasses, never mind a magnifying glass. So tonight we're appealing to some new starters, maybe giving some inspiration to others to create some backgrounds. I hope you enjoyed the Facebook Live. I will do a few more. I'll keep going as long as you want them. I'll keep going. I'll keep doing them for as long as you want them. And I think that's it. I think I've mentioned everything I needed to mention. Yes, I think so. So I hope you enjoy your evening, and I'll see you all tomorrow evening on the AALL&Create Facebook page at around about 6:30 if you're available. Thanks ever so much, Gayla. Thanks everybody for joining me. Oh, thanks very much, Corrie, of Sunsets. It's just a little bit different, isn't it? A different colour scheme. And we'll stick with this colour scheme tomorrow and create another project. You want the tombstone tag. And I want that tombstone tag. I might have another, Olga, if you're nice to me. I might have another. So I will. I'll continue the Facebook Lives as long as you want them. Thanks ever so much, everybody. Have a lovely evening, and I'll see you all soon. Bye. Bye.